Hi, it's Liz, and we are making Christmas gifts around here. So it's November, but it's gonna be coming up really fast. So I decided to get ahead of the game, and I decided to make some dish towels. So I wanted to do dish towels for your hands that are on the oven, but I didn't want to add a button and I didn't want to add a snap or anything. So last year I made some and I was trying to look for different patterns, but you know how it gets so busy just around Christmas, so I could only do one style. So this year I thought I would try a different style just because I did not love that first style, and I'll show you. So last year I found a pattern that I will link below and I really like it. It came with a free template, and basically the template is just this piece here, and you can do it as a box, you can do it sleek like that. I really like this look. Now in the video she does it double-sided, so she has 2 tea towels on each side. So you would cut a normal tea towel in half so that you could have it on each side. So I did make that this year just to see if my skills had improved, and they hadn't. So my first thought on making tea towels is I'll go to Fabricland and I'll get some fabric to make the tea towels with, and then we'll kind of go from there. I did have scraps of like cotton and other types of material, so I found this really nice material which I already had in my stash, and I thought I'll get toweling at the Fabricland. So this is this type of toweling, and as you can see it's got a lot of issues with it. So I ended up getting some of this toweling, cut it all up, did some stuff, and did not love it. So in the video it says you're supposed to line this part of it, and it does make it more sturdier, but it has problems when it comes and you're sewing this in. I only made it single-sided on these ones, but I ended up having issues with sewing through front and back, being able to catch it, and so that it didn't look great. So as you can see, there's lots of puckering. This material too, I'm not exactly sure what it is. I don't know if it's a linen or if it's just a certain type of cotton. It does not absorb great, and it obviously wrinkles and it stains quite well. So I ended up having to, you can see, scrunch it in. I machine sewed this and you can tell it looks pretty bad. So these ones I kept for myself because I did not love it. I did not love the feel of this. It's very like gritty, and I just did 1 layer on each side, so I didn't do a second layer, but they're okay. They're not great, they're okay, and I made 2 of these. You can see here with the machine sewing even, it's starting to fray. I made these last year, so they are well used, but I don't love how these look. So this is one I made last year and it still looks really great. I ended up buying the toweling just from like a Stedman's or Walmart, I can't remember. Cutting it up. I think I bought these ones at Walmart and then adding the top to it, and this is just a cotton fabric. So what I ended up doing is sewing this piece to this piece first, because then it can be the right sides together, and then sewing that in. So I machine sewed one side, then I would flip it over and I would hand stitch the other side. Just because then it would give a nice clean finish. It would also make sure that everything is tucked in and it's not going to show weirdly on the other side. And I found that worked a lot better. I was able also to kind of cinch in the edges as well, which I did have a problem on the other one. So I did one side machine stitched and then the other side hand stitched. So that obviously took me a while. And so this one uses a full tea towel length, so you can determine the size, and this one was just a single one. The one I did in this year, I don't love it. As you can see, they flare out. This is a linen, so obviously it does have way more give, but I did have an issue with it flailing out. I forgot that I sewed the right sides together at the very top for the other one, so I ended up sewing it and not loving it, ripping it out. I forgot about that trick where you do the right sides together then flip it over. to do the hand sewing on either side. So for these ones, I ended up hand sewing on either side. I didn't add any bulky extra weight in here, which I could have easily. You just make the pattern a little bit smaller than the original. And I did double side these. So there's actually 2 full tea towels in this. So you can see they are 2 separate ones. This pattern is a really semi-easy sew. I would say the corners are the most trickiest part and just getting everything to line up. Though the instructions for this is quite simple, right? There's very minimal instructions for this. So, but I just don't love how not clean it looked. So last year I wasn't super happy with this ones as they didn't come out as clean as I like. I did give a couple as gifts, but I wanted this year to try a different pattern. So this year I tried a different pattern and I will link it down below. And this one uses half of a tea towel. So you have a full tea towel and you're going to be cutting it in half. So it's obviously a lot lighter. I used linen again up at the top and you can just see how clean and crisp the edges are. And it just hangs over the bar on the oven and it just looks a lot cleaner and nicer. The only downside is there's way more steps to these. And so what I ended up doing is I did one to see if I liked this design and how it looked, and I really did. So I did a big batch of these. These ones are just microfiber kitchen towels. And they're okay. They're not amazing. I got these ones from Costco, so they are 100% polyester, but you can definitely just use cotton ones as well. But I just liked that it was just very simple. You can use it at any time of the year. And this is the other color that came with it. So yeah, they were on sale last year at Costco, so I ended up just buying that and then using it this year. So I'm very happy with this design. It did take me a lot longer. There are way more steps because this piece and this piece are 2 separate pieces that you sew together. So it does take longer. You're using a little bit more material for this part, but you're using less and getting more tea towels. So there was 8 in that pack. So I would have halved them, like cut them in half. So it would have been 16. But I did end up using 2 full ones just to make this kind of prototype to see if my skills got any better, and they did not. So I have a lot of dish towels that I'm able to give as gifts this year. So I'm happy about that. And it took me, I didn't really do it consistently, but I did it over 2 days, kind of in the evening, and then the next morning I finished it up. So it can be a really quick and easy project if you're just making a couple of them, or you can do a bigger batch and then you'll always have stuff to give away. So that one is one of my me-made projects that I enjoyed. I don't think I'll be on the tea towel kick anytime soon. Kind of check that one off my list. So I really enjoyed this pattern, but if you're looking for a faster one that you need to just do, this one is a great one because it just has this as 2 pieces that you sew together and then sew into here. But it just looks different. You're using more material, so it just depends on what you're looking for. So I hope that helps with your sewing projects and trying to figure out what we're all going to be making for this Christmas time. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!